Author C.T. Phipps gave me the opportunity to read this novel. What a guy. He did me a solid. Let me tell you why. Welcome to Fantasy for the Ages, the show where a father and son talk about fantasy, science fiction, and other nerdy things we enjoy. Today, just Jim here, bringing you an episode, a book blast, which means a spoiler-light review of something I've recently read. This time, Moon Cops on the Moon. If you enjoy this, be sure to tell me by hitting the like button down below, and if you haven't subscribed yet, we sure hope you will. Zach and I super appreciate all of you who have chosen to subscribe to our channel. As I began reading Moon Cops on the Moon, consider the fact that the title itself sets you up to believe this is going to be a silly book. I mean, come on. Who can say Moon Cops on the Moon seriously? Moon Cops on the Moon. More at 10. I mean, it's just goofy. So, when you begin reading this book, your expectations are initially reinforced. You're meeting a primary character, Neil, who is, by all appearances, a washed-out cop who has been assigned to the moon because it is the absolute least desirable posting of all possible assignments. See, he was once posted to Mars, which is a much more desirable location, a pretty decent gig. But then he did something that got him on the bad side of some bad guys, maybe, and he ends up getting shipped off to Antarctica, a place that nobody wants to spend much time in, including today. And yet, that wasn't bad enough. And he gets reassigned from Antarctica to the moon. And the moon is basically a criminal free-for-all. Most of the cops are in on it, and the few police officers who actually give a darn have zero chance of making a meaningful difference. There's just too much corruption. But on the bright side, police officers who want to do their job, well, they're never going to be bored. There's plenty of ne'er-do-wells to put away on a daily basis. Oh, but that's not enough for us in this story. Let's pile on. Someone is out to kill Neil. Yeah, he's just arrived on the moon, and already there is a hit out on him. So we've got major crime, from street gangs all the way up to corrupt top governmental leaders, and people are coming for him. No need to seek out the criminals, Neil. They will come to you in droves. Thank goodness he's met upon arrival by one of his fellow officers. Or perhaps that should have been one of his Fido officers. As the officer picking him up is a corgi. Goes by the name of, I kid you not, Charles Barksley. Mind you, he's not a real dog. No, much more reasonable. He's a sentient toy corgi. Not miniature. He's a toy. A robotic toy. And the silliness only increases from there. But wait. That's not true. That's not fair. I mean, it is true, but it doesn't give you enough of the picture, because this is not just a silly story. There's actually a plot, a pretty decent mystery, a story that does manage to draw you in. It makes you want to figure out what's going on, and it actually takes all this nonsense and turns it into some sense. It delivers a satisfying finish that actually sets this book up well for sequels, which author C.T. Phipps does sort of have in mind. This book is not particularly long, so it's little risk giving it a try. And it's heavy on the action, light on boring commentary, so it just kind of keeps moving along. There are moments of main character reflection, but they are interspersed lightly, just a touch here, just a touch there. And honestly, C.T. Phipps uses just the right amount of that to help us decipher the mystery of the novel without overwhelming us in boredom. In essence, once you get just a little ways into this book, you're going to struggle to stop reading. And before you know it, the roller coaster is coming to an end. Then, complete stop, time to get off the ride. And you're hoping there will be another ride soon. I definitely recommend this story. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads simply because I couldn't take it seriously enough to give it a 5. It's just a fun story. It's not super, super deep or moving, thoroughly entertaining. There were also some errors that honestly an editor should have caught more than the norm, I felt. And we're not just talking typos, sometimes like the wrong word is in print. That kind of holds it back from a 5. But none of that tore me out of the story or diminished my pleasure with it. A 4 is a strong score. I think you'd be entertained by this novel, and I suggest you check it out. If you do, and you likewise agree with me that that was fun, remember to let me know in the comment box. If you've already read it and you're a big C.T. Phipps fan, let me know too. I'd love to hear about it. He has many other novels out, and I think most of them are in this same galaxy universe sort of thing that Moon Cops on the Moon is in. So if you like this book, there's more to find. Okay, that's where I'll leave you today. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.